I'm Miya and I'm an off-duty guild receptionist, and you are very welcome to drop by the guild over on my Twitch where we do live reacts, and also on my main YouTube channel where we have covers and we do game streams, and we just, I don't know, we do things. Question mark, and today we are reacting to question mark Carcharodons. Wait, I didn't think this would be so hard to read. Carcharodons? Okay, and today we are gonna be reacting to Carcharodons, question mark. Void Hunters, Warhammer 40k lore by the Remembrancer. Hell yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's get it.
We are the protectors of humanity and its judges. When the shadows strike, we strike back. From the outer dark we come, and into the depths we shall return. The black sea, beyond the stars, calls to us.
Chief Librarian, the
Legiones
Kahurangi.
Astartes would sire many successors to enact the will of the Imperium across the stars. Some would epitomize the ecclesiarchy's teachings, others would champion the honor of their forebears, and many would lose their ties to their kin with the waning millennia.
I'll be so real, a lot of the language that they're using here is like words I don't typically hear. I understand what they mean, but there's so many of them I'm getting overwhelmed because it's like, as I'm processing the first word, I'm like, okay, kin. I know what that is. And before I can complete my thought, I hear the word millennia and I'm like, these are not words I hear on a daily basis. Good stuff, good stuff.
Yet among the Adeptus Astartes, not all would be regaled as heroes or paragons of the Imperium.
You see what I mean? Regaled, paragons. I'm struggling. I'm ESL. I'm really struggling. Question mark, question mark. But I think I'm getting the gist of it, so it's probably fine.
For some would serve a darker purpose in the most perilous of war zones. Chapters such as the Hunters of the Void, the Carcharodons.
Carcharodons! Alright, cool.
Much of the colloquially named Space Sharks chapter would remain obscured from history.
See, I've actually heard people in chat like talk about space sharks, and I don't know why. It never occurred to me that space sharks would look something like this. Or, you know, every time someone says space sharks, I immediately think of, question mark, like Jeff the Shark. Like, I'm not even kidding. I think they're cute little shark buddies that are also in space. I don't think they look like this. I am not prepared. I am absolutely not prepared.
Records of their origins conflict, with some scholars citing their founding as among the primogenitors of the second founding.
Okay, what? The primogenitors. All right, okay, I think I'm gonna get it. Okay, can someone in chat explain to me what a primogenitor is?
Whilst more scrutinous historians cite their formation during the 23rd Sentinel founding. Though not conclusive, many cite the 19th Legion, the Raven Guard, to be the origin of their gene seed, citing the first Shade Lord of the Great Crusade, Arcus Fal, as their prime ancestor. A Terran-born Astartes, Arcas would fight during the Wars of Unification in the name of the 19th, prior to his reunion with his gene sire, Corvus Corax. Known
That name? Corvus Corax. It sounds like a superhero name. I don't know why. It just does.
to detest the Terran stock of his legion, Corax would implement changes to supplant their command hierarchy with Astartes of his own homeworld of Deliverance. Supplanting the cold-blooded methods of war inherited from the Xeric tribes of ancient Terra, the warriors of the 19th would adopt the guerrilla warfare and stealth tactics championed by the veterans of Lycaeus. The Legion's prior service to his reunion garnering a reputation as an occupying force, their oppressive tendencies would stand in opposition to every virtue Corax upheld as a survivor of the slavers of Lycaeus.
Lycaeus, okay. Roughly translated as created from. I see. Interesting, interesting. I do think probably like one of my largest hurdles and I guess biggest barriers to entering, I guess like to immersing myself in a world like Warhammer or in like honestly any IP that's kind of like I guess close or like adjacent to Warhammer is definitely the language used. As someone who didn't really grow up with anything actually besides like Barbie movies and Facebook. A lot of these things, even if I have an interest in it, I definitely will see like the language used as a barrier of entry for me. Definitely, for sure, for sure. Yeah, because I think I know how to speak English. I think I speak English okay. And I can understand some of these words, but it definitely is very overwhelming, question mark. So yeah, very interesting. High Gothic is like posh but British at its worst. Is this what it's called? High Gothic? Old English? Is this Old English? I know that Old English is kind of its own thing, but I'm not really sure.
Demoting the most senior veterans of the former Legion to line soldier duties, Arcas Val would be no exception.
Arcas?
Stripped of his rank as the Lord Commander of the 19th, Arcas's 3 decades of service to his Legion would bear no favour with his Primarch. Further separating his Terran sons by combining them into small, independent nomadic fleets, Corax would cast his Terran Astartes to work alongside rogue trader fleets and other mercenary bands. Now commanding such an independent fleet, Arcas Val would never return to the side of his Primarch. The Raven Lord would make no efforts to call for their aid during the Raven Guard Legion's collapse during the Horus Heresy, further estranging the Terrans of the Xeric tribes from their liege. Yet records held within the Emperor's Holy Inquisition shed light on the Imperium's command to their alienated warriors. Within the mythos Angelica Mortis, they would be tasked to roam the outer darkness of the Void upon an endless voyage to ravage the foes of humanity. To set about the traitor, the alien, and the renegade without mercy, and harrow them in their places of strength.
I do remember one of the points I brought up before in our previous factions videos was like, is all this artificial? I have the same question. Is all the art here like also official, or are these like kind of like just fan art and also some official art? Are all of these official? They all look really good. So I'm like, I'm looking.
Of all the deeds of the Carcharodons, none would be more infamous than their involvement during the Badab War.
Badab War.
Following their confrontation of Abaddon the Despoiler's 7th Black Crusade and the War in the Deeps against the Tyranid Menace, the Carcharodons would...
Okay, look, I do resonate more with the Chaos Gods, but the Tyranids look horrifying and cool as fuck. They look so cool. I feel like every time I see a Tyranid, I'm like, yeah. That makes sense. Mix a bit and an official. I see. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it.
Be embroiled in a civil war of immense proportions. During 910.M41, the Astral Claws chapter of Adeptus Astartes would secede from the Imperium and hold dominion of the Maelstrom Zone. Alongside the Executioners, Lamenters, and Mantis Warriors chapters, the chapter master of the Astral Claws, Luft Huron, would stand defiant against the vast loyalist armies of the Exorcists, Fire Angels, Fire Hawks, Howling Griffins, Marines Errant, Minotaurs, Nova Marines, Raptors, Red Scorpions, Salamanders, Sons of Medusa, and Star Phantom chapters. Causing tension between both sides at the arrival of the unknown combatants, the Loyalists would manage to validate their Imperial authorization protocols from the ancient warships. Offering their aid in the battle, the Carcharodons would claim to have answered a summons sent from the throne world itself, Holy Terror.
Okay, I mean, like, I think, like, my basic understanding of the word terror is that it always means Earth or Earth adjacent, I think.
Tyberos the Red Wake would submit himself to gene sampling and produce ancient notices patent of their deeds,
gene
and be
sampling.
deemed loyal by the Loyalist commanders. Lord High Commander Karab Kuln, Chapter Master of the Red Scorpions, would allow for the Carcharodons to fight within his lines of battle and deploy them to the Endymion cluster.
I feel, okay, I know that a lot of what I'm talking about isn't in direct relation to, I guess, the content of the video itself, but I have to say this. Videos like this require custom subtitles, and I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure this is custom subtitles. Let's check. Because, like, there is no way these are not custom subtitles. Question mark. Yeah, these are custom subtitles. God damn. I can only imagine how much more of a harder time I would be having, especially as someone who has, like, no background with, like, Warhammer 40k. If these were auto-generated, they'd be giving me some bullshit-ass fucking words. Okay. Question mark. I find it very funny, but also I am very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for custom subtitles.
To fight within his lines of battle and deploy them to the Endymion cluster. Confronting the Mantis Warrior secessionists, the Carcharodons would systematically annihilate the Mantis Warriors and drive them from the Endymion sector. Joining the final battle of the War of Badab Prime during 91...
I like that word. I like it so much. It just rolls off the tongue like butter. I like it.
3.M41, the Carcharodons would sabotage the planet's geothermal reactors to rob the planet's defense batteries of power. The hive cities of Badab Prime would incur tectonic upheaval from the lack of power, consuming swathes of the hives into molten seas of lava. Victorious over the secessionists, the Carcharodons would return to the Endymion sector to harvest new recruits from the training grounds of the Mantis Warriors. With agreement of the Firehawks, the Carcharodons would enact their Red Tithe and venture once more into the darkest voids of space. Continuing their ceaseless persecution of the enemies of the Imperium within the most perilous of the outer reaches of the galaxy. Little else is known of their deeds prior to the return of the avenging son of the Imperium. Battling the Word-Bearers Legion upon the world of Bador 5, in the wake of their victory against the traitor forces, Primaris Marines of the Ultima Founding would be dispatched to their long-distant chapter. Their reinforcement allowing for their continued service within the most treacherous systems across the galactic edge.
I find that all of the art that I'm looking at, because like I'm also a very visual person, they all look very violent. Question mark. But then again, that's not a surprise. I mean, like, that's something I've gathered already. With like Warhammer 40k.
Incurring numerous losses during their many battles across the stars, the unconventional chapter must draw recruits from the most inhospitable of worlds. The so-called Red Tithe must be enacted by the Reaper Prime of the chapter, following the Edicts of Exile.
They're among the most violent legions? That's... question mark. In a world like 40k, where everyone is basically like, just violence is the default setting, I can only imagine how much more violent the space sharks are. Like, this is actually kind of scaring me, like, just thinking about it.
Harvesting fresh recruits from worlds liberated by their blades, the Carcharodons replace their Astartes numbers and vast labor serf population with their claim of imperial life.
Serf? Question mark. Serf. What's a serf? Question mark.
Lives. Attrition is incredibly high in comparison to their cousin chapters due to their gene seed flaws, with few aspirants of the chapter surviving the trials to become an Astartes. Gaining battlefield experience from not only the Scout Company, but each of the chapter's battle companies. Each aspirant of the Red Tithe shall be bloodied for a minimum of a solar decade.
What's a solar decade? Okay, that sounds like a fucking long time. That sounds like a crap load of time. Maybe that's all I need to know.
Before earning their revered exile markings.
Fair enough. Goddamn.
Tattoos earned through deeds, designs such as spiral loops of their forearms and scalps, are symbols of their deeds in battle.
The loops that I see here kind of remind me of like henna or Mandy, I think, question mark. Very interesting.
Each aspirant shall be regarded only by the number of their squad prior to their ascension. Once proven to be worthy as true Astartes, new Void Brothers shall be given a Void name. Forming close bonds of camaraderie with their fellow exiles, the Ashen Claws, the former 18th Company of the Raven Guard, had turned against both sides of the war of the Horus Heresy to eke out an existence far from Imperial space. Working alongside the Carcharodons Astra on many occasions throughout the millennia, The Ashen Claws have on many occasions replenished munitions, materials, and even recruits to the Carcharodons in their times of most desperate need. Though such an ancient pact has proven beneficial to both parties, it would be a mistake to think of them
that's cool.
on good terms. Looked down upon by the current master of the Ashen Claws, the renegade Space Marines often taunt their desperate brethren to weaken their negotiations to benefit their trade. Called the Great Hives, the Harvester Prime of the chapter must see to the adequate equipment maintenance and supplies of each company to allow for the fighting peak strength of the Carcharodons in their pursuit of ancient archaeotech. Trading such relics to the Mechanicus of Mars in exchange for vehicles, power armor, and weapons, the Carcharodons scavenge for every scrap of resource to continue their savage wars. Their biology, rarely observed by outsiders of the chapter, the only records of their gene seed are gleaned from the records of the Death Watch. Showing no obvious signs of mutation, the gene seed of the chapter, nonetheless, has degraded with time.
I'm like picking up little bits of information that I've kind of picked up over the course of us watching like the factions videos, and also fucking Space King. And when I see the word gene seed, is that basically like what a globule is in space? Is that what it's parodying, or is it something else entirely?
Showing further evidence of their
It
ties
is. It's
to
the same thing.
beanstalk of the
Okay,
Raven
sick.
Guard. Each Astartes
Oh my god, I'm getting it.
of the chapter's complexion shows a death-like paleness as black eyes gleam from their sockets. Their phenotype transforming their aspirants' genetic makeup to share their deathly visage.
I don't know. It was pronounced like that. I thought it was like Visage.
Sleeping within cryotanks as they voyage across the stars, the Carcharodons lie dormant in the darkness for years without contact of the Imperium. Unleashed onto battle, once awoken from their long slumber, the veterans of the chapter watch over their junior Astartes as they sleep, for the longer one's service to the chapter, the more difficult rest becomes. With some records indicating that the oldest of the chapter's Astartes have not used the cryotank sleep assistance for Terran centuries.
Okay, so I guess Terran centuries just means centuries, like just straight up like Earth centuries. Okay, so they live a long time too, all right? I'm gathering that-ish. They live a very long time.
As a fleet-based chapter, distant from ties to the Imperium, the Carcharodons make use of any ships and war gear they can claim from the battlefield. Extensively modifying their equipment to fulfill their requirements, it is not uncommon for Space Marines of the chapter to wield ancient Phobos pattern bolters and Mark V power armor some 10,000 years in age. Fiercely self-sufficient, each battle company of the chapter define their combat doctrine and organization independently from one another, with each containing Scout Marines and Terminator-clad veterans within their ranks. Eschewing reserve companies, the battle companies of the Carcharodons seem to have abandoned the teachings of the Codex Astartes and choose to outline their own stratagems and hierarchical heraldries. Utilizing chaplains and librarians, the use of tech marines and apothecaries is more seldom within the chapter, due to their value to be preserved and kept away from the front line of battle. Each company comprises of between...
They have to specify its Terran years and such, because other planets they come across would have longer or shorter years, and people would have a fit if you say it's a year without specifying. Wait, a fit? Like an actual fit? You know, actually, no, fair enough. I can definitely see why, considering like there's so many planets involved here. That makes sense. Question mark. I think like what's really gonna confuse me though is like if Earth is Terra and if Sol is generally in reference to the sun, if they have other words like this for other planets, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna know. I was fortunate enough to have played enough like I don't know if anyone played Terra Genesis. Question mark, to know that Terra usually means Earth. Even Sol being sun is like, I have to think about it. Anything else, I'm not gonna know.
100 to 120 Astartes, with as many as 30 Scout Marines, allowing for each company to carry out analysis and battlefield intel reports prior to their company's assaults. Highly disciplined and dour warriors, the chapter favors the use of shock troops to close their distance to their enemies. The command structure of the Carcharodons, despite their non-conformity to the conventions of the Codex Astartes, regardless resembles many of its outlines.
Okay, but if they're like super old, like how many years would you have to be alive? How many Terran years would you have to be alive to like look like the dude on the left? Question mark. That's about all you need. Maybe Luna is the name for Earth or Terra's moon. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, Luna. Question mark. That makes sense. Dude on the left isn't that old. Are you fucking kidding me? Bro's pruned. How old is he? Dude, that's wild. Wait, and this dude isn't that old. The dude on the right is like literally just a baby then. The oldest have ripped ass skin. That's wild. That's actually crazy.
The chapter master of the Carcharodons is known as the Shade Lord.
Ooh, cool.
Following in the footsteps of the so-called Forgotten One, reputed to be Arcus Fowl.
I do like the design of like the Shade Lord. I think the teeth and like just the way it looks is just so cool. Yeah, no, I would look at this and think, yeah, shark.
Currently attributed to the fearsome Tyberos, the gargantuan Astartes known as the Red Wake leads his chapter as an imposing and terrifying symbol of the chapter's wrath. Each company is led by company masters, with 2 of such captains of the chapter given unique roles and titles. The Reaper Prime, whilst commanding their respective company, must oversee the recruitment of new aspirants to the chapter, whilst the Harvester Prime must seek out lost technologies and facilitate trade with the adepts of Mars.
Huh.
Strike leaders act as the sergeants of the chapter, whilst battle brothers of the chapter are known as Void Brothers. Clad in grey armour, each Astartes proudly wears the symbol of their chapter, a great white shark set upon the dark void of space upon their left pauldron.
I do like that they have like the shark on their thing, though I do have to wonder, because I do remember seeing somewhere that sharks are apparently very old. They've looked the way they've looked for a long time. So what this is, from what I remember, supposedly, I could be wrong about this. I'm not sure. Is this actually like 40k years? So this is year like 40k. Would sharks still look like sharks in the year 40k? Or is the icon like, is it kind of like based on like what sharks look like today? Their icon used to look a lot cuter. Oh my god, wait, actually? The idea that it's cuter is so cute. It's so adorable. Good stuff. Question mark. Maybe absolutely. Ah, I see. Species where Saturn had rings. Jeez. Oh my god. Are sharks extinct in 40k? Wait, so they basically use like an extinct, it's like putting a dodo on your shoulder, basically. Is it kind of like that? Question mark. Sharks, millions of years old. They would be pretty much the same if they still lived. Damn. Dude, that's actually kind of wild. I did vaguely kind of like catch this in like one of those like old like Facebook articles. Like, oh, I fucking love science. Don't give me shit for that, okay? But like, I do remember there was that page and then like they like post stuff like that. So like, I do know that sharks basically haven't evolved all that much from like years and years and years ago. It's kind of wild to know that like this amount of time, like 40k years, is literally nothing in the midst of their millions and millions of years of looking the same. That's wild.
Uniform in their panoplies of war, each warrior may adorn his ceramite with tokens and designs of oceanic predators.
Sorry, I should actually mention, like, I think it's like really cool that I assume they've taken this into consideration when they like did the designs for them and kept sharks the same shape. Question mark. I feel like most times everything is intentional. Character design is a very intentional thing. So yeah, no, I think that's pretty cool.
Wounds, fanged maws, and tokens depicting their mysterious heritage. Their assault marines known as Devourers comprise the bulk of their ranks.
Huh.
For there also exist the elite Red Brethren, who bear the honor of marching into battle, bedecked in Terminator armor. Armed and armored at all times, the Red Brethren etch red markings onto their armor and carry out the will of their Shade Lord and their respective company master.
Okay, so
Observed to be
I was mistaken. Shade Lord. Position, not a name, not a moniker. Okay. Got it.
experts at rapid deployments, the Carcharodons show disdain for methods of protracted warfare. Experts of stealth, infiltration, and surprise attacks, it would be unwise to assume that the Carcharodons are not adept combatants without their tactics of subterfuge. Terrifying and imposing warriors, the chapter demonstrates intensely violent rampages following their simple yet effective tactics. Supported on occasion with armored vehicles, the Astartes of the chapter prefer to utilize mobile heavy infantry to fulfill their objectives. Preferring to be the aggressors in combat rather than forming defensive lines, the Carcharodons' integration of both scout units and Terminator vanguards enables for meticulously planned and devastating, overwhelming surprise attacks.
Damn.
Favoring drop pod assaults, Thunderhawk insertions, and teleportation attacks, the hulking warriors of the chapter are in stature alone enough to break the morale of lesser foes. Withdrawing from objectives that proved to be well defended, the chapter reorganize their men and plot new strike maneuvers as their opponents reel from their initial onslaughts.
The fact that even like the fact that it exists is just like, oh, like it breaks the morale of like smaller foes. Knowing that they're the most violent legion of all the legions, I would assume so. Yeah, no, if I was a smaller foe, I'd probably run. Not that I'd, you know what? I wouldn't even run. I just accept my fate. I'm done for. That's it.
Never faltering in their patient yet deadly assaults, the continual exploitation of their enemies' weak points proved to be devastating and unsalvageable.
Oh man.
Communicating in eerie silence, the Carcharodons prey further on their enemies' fears by organizing their advance via encrypted voxnets. Butchering their foes without a hint of a word, nor cry of pain when sustaining injuries, woe betide any foolish enough to stand in opposition of such reticent combatants. Firing ancient Ursus claw weaponry during naval engagements, the gigantic harpoons allow for the raiding of supply ships and facilitation of great hives. Following the tenets of the nomad predation pattern of fleet formation, the chapter voyage across the stars without pause and honor the heritage of their forebears, the wandering ancestors. Upholding their devotion to the master of mankind, Astartes of the Carcharodons carry devotional charms and prayer scrolls as among the most pious of Space Marine chapters. Revering the Emperor as the Void Father and Sire of the Forgotten One, the chapter emulate his eternal vigil upon the Golden Throne, as they too shall hunt his enemies across the galaxy.
Bro's like a celebrity. I feel like the moment I see this, I'm like, I know that guy! And he shows up everywhere. Anything Warhammer related, anything Warhammer 40k related, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he's gonna show up. Yeah, no, there's no chance he's not gonna make a brief cameo.
As a beacon of light within the thickest of shadows. Ending their eternal crusade with the return of the Forgotten One, scholars and historians have no consensus as to the identity of such an enigmatic
That reminds me of like the Plague Doctor mask.
Their
But
creed
not
predating
exactly.
the
Then again, there's like the whole crow thing, right? He's celery.
imperial cult. The chapter's primal, zealous duty shall not be snuffed out by the servants of the outer dark.
And so, the grey-clad came from the outer night, and their jagged maw did swallow the stars.
Okay, so like the fact that they're reading this and it's in quotes, that tells me that this is probably part of like the official IP. Like this is something that they officially come out with. Are these from the books? Where are these quotes actually from? Are they from games? Are they from the books? Are they from like, I don't know, other forms of media that they also create? Question mark. They're from the book. So is a lot of the book just gonna be like this? Or is this like one of those like page breaks where like they insert like just, you know, things and then they write, you know, the way like I guess I would understand. I don't know how to explain it. Question mark, question mark. They have dedicated books. Not a lot, I think 3. 3 is a lot, but I guess in like the grand scheme of like 1,300, it's not much. Question mark.
And their black gaze did mirror the void of oblivion. Their pale shadows fell upon the servants of the Skulled One with great fury from the darkness, unseen as the beast that lurks beneath the black waters. Death for death, blood for blood. Thus were the sons of Sanguinius bought respite, and did turn back upon their pursuers. And so were damned traitors of the false gods driven unto their ruin.
Canticle of Cassandra Lev? Volume... There are so many books. There are so many books that this isn't even a Roman numeral I know how to read. What does the C stand for? What's the C? What does the C mean? Okay, like VI is probably like what, 6, right? So C is 100? Question mark? Oh my god. That's so many books. I mean, I knew there were like thousands, but like I wasn't expecting to see like that. Oh my god, it really hits when it makes you think about it, you know? God damn. Oh jeez. Okay. That's crazy.
This has been a tale of the great Imperium of Man, read by the Remembrancer. The Carcharodons Astra are among the most mysterious yet reliable subjects of the Adeptus Astartes. Their duty to the Emperor foregoes their need for glories, for in their vigil of the darkest voids of space, there is humble valor in their deeds. While duty is its own reward, be mindful of your need for purpose.
Something I've definitely noticed with like, I forget what they're called as like a people. The people in the suits, question mark. I do notice that like a lot of them, like despite being very violent, but like probably very evil, they do things for like the good of something else, which is also like some comments. I read that in some comments in like the factions video as well, how like, okay, like everyone is some flavor of evil, but like that depends. Like they may be evil like from the perspective of the people they're evil to, but like to the people they're helping, question mark, different story.
For should you find purpose in your own actions, you shall not want for vainglorious ego.
That was definitely insightful. I do think if I come back to this video after knowing a little bit more about Warhammer, I'd probably be able to like absorb more information and process it properly. But this is interesting. Yeah, cool. Space sharks, hell yeah. Wait! Do you want to watch this video ad-free? Because now you can on my Patreon, and yes, it's completely free. But if you'd like to support my channel a little bit extra, you can get early access to my videos and also uncut reactions, which means you get my reactions earlier than my editor. I stream on Twitch as well, and on my main channel too. If you've made it this far, it would mean so much if you consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much for giving my video a chance, and I guess you can go now. Have a great day!